Top of the morning to you. It's Friday the 28th of November 2025, and I'm going to try and give you a wee list of singers and band members who have hailed from Northern Ireland. So I'm going to start right away with Ruby Murray, and this is a wee clip or a wee photograph out of a video I did about a year ago. This is Ruby Murray, singer, well-known singer of the 50s and 60s. She was born in Maltby Street in the Donegal Road, and there's a play park and park area dedicated to her, and this little montage of photographs making up her face, and I'll get rid of myself, is on the fence of the park. So she was born 1935 and she died 1996. Well, the write-up about Ruby Murray says that her characteristic hoarse voice was the result of an operation on her throat in early childhood. She toured as a child singer and first appeared on TV at the age of 12. Her first single was Heartbeat, which reached, and this is an educational notice board found on one of the bridges, Donegal Road bridges, railway bridges. A tribute to Ruby Murray again. This is another singer-songbird extraordinaire, not born in Belfast, but just born 6 or 7 miles outside Belfast in Comber, the small village of Comber. And this is her grave. Ottilie Patterson, born January 1932, died June 2011, aged 79 years. And Ottilie Patterson was a very gifted singer, and Louis Armstrong is reputed to have said about her, how come this white girl can sing like a black woman? She was into jazz, and she married Chris Barber and sang, she fronted up his Chris Barber jazz band. She made her first public appearance at the Royal Festival Hall in January 1955. Known internationally as Ottilie, she produced a vast array of recordings of on a considerable number of record labels, with some of the greatest British jazz exponents at that time. There's Humphrey Lyttelton, Agar Bilk, Kenny Ball, Chris Barber. And these were some of her songs here. Blueberry Hill, of course. Heavenly Sunshine. Hello, Dolly. I Shall Not Be Moved. She sang them all. From the same vintage as Ruby Murray and Ottilie Patterson comes Ronnie Carroll. And I remember Ronnie Carroll well, knocking about with people like Millicent Martin and folks like that. There's a montage of photographs of Ronnie Carroll, a handsome looking boyo, and my notes down below state Ronnie Carroll, born 1934, died 2015. He remains the only singer to have represented UK in the Eurovision Song Contest 2 years in succession. Born on Roslin Street, Woodstock Road, East Belfast, he is gone but not forgotten. And these are some of his well-known songs. Roses Are Red, of course, Ring-a-Ding Girl. And who's this gentleman here? Well, this is painter and singer of world renown, Will Millar. And some of you who are a wee bit long in the tooth like me will recognise Will Millar, of course, because he was lead singer of the Irish Rovers for many a year. Yes, he was born in Ballymena, County Antrim, Northern Ireland. He plays the guitar, banjo, mandolin and tin whistle, and he was the front man of the band until he left. Most popular songs over the years were The Unicorn, Drunken Sailor, Wasn't That a Party, The Orange and the Green, Whiskey on a Sunday, Lily the Pink and the Black Velvet Band. Many, many more, of course, Puff the Magic Dragon and all the rest. I used to listen to these songs on the wireless on my mother's knee, and many of you will have done likewise. Will Millar and the Irish Rovers still going strong, living out on Vancouver Island and painting away every day. This is the internationally acclaimed musician James Galway. Doesn't sing, but he's known as the man with the golden flute. Sir James Galway, OBE, born 1939, still alive. After several years of working as an orchestral musician, he established an international career as a solo flute player. In 2005, he received the Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to Music and Classic at the Classic Brit Awards. Born in North Belfast, his father, who played the flute, was employed at Harland and Wolff shipyard until the end of the Second World War, and he had spent night shifts cleaning buses after the war, while his mother, a pianist, was a winder in a flax spinning mill. James Galway was raised a Presbyterian, surrounded by a tradition of flute bands, and many friends and family members played the instrument. He was taught the flute by his uncle. At the age of 9, he joined his fife and drum corps, and at the age of 11, Galway won the Junior, Senior and Open Belfast Flute Championship in a single day. And he was educated at Mount Collier Secondary School. Left school at the age of 14 and worked as an apprentice to a piano repairer for 2 years. And here is another elderly musician and singer that you'll all know. This is Van Morrison from Hindford Street in East Belfast. And this is a shot of Hindford Street. This is the write-up I did about Van Morrison. And I think he's 80 years old this year. Rose to prominence in the mid-60s, lead singer of the Northern Ireland R&B band Them, with whom he recorded the famous Gloria, Gloria. Solo career began with the release of hit single Brown Eyed Girl in 1967, and he just has never looked back, and he's still making hits. One of his most recent ones that I've listened to is Cutting Corners, and I have said in this video that my particular favourites include Brown Eyed Girl, Orange Field, Cypress Avenue, Coney Island, Bright Side of the Road, Cleaning Windows, and of course the star of the County Down, about Banbridge Town, my hometown. And if I'm talking about Van Morrison, I can hardly not talk about the band Them that he fronted, formed in 1964. Their their song, garage rock standard song, was Gloria, of course, and they scored 2 other UK hits with Baby Please Don't Go and Here Comes the Night. And in 1965, the band consisted of Billy Harrison, Alan Henderson, Van Morrison, Peter Bardens and Pat McCullough. Wonder where all those guys are now. This is a mural called Teenage Dreams So Hard to Kick, but it shouldn't have been that. The original mural stated Teenage Kicks So Hard to Beat, and of course that was the song produced by the Undertones, headed up at that time by Fergal Sharkey. And Fergal Sharkey, of course, is no mean singer himself. Teenage Kicks So Hard to Beat mural vanished from the Lower Newtonards Road Belfast cityscape after being painted over almost 2 years ago, and it's now been reinstated. A huge public outcry ensued when the original mural featuring the Undertones lyric Teenage Kicks So Hard to Beat from the Teenage Kicks song was removed from the flyover at Bridge End. So what else have I said there? John Peel, the radio DJ, was so enamoured with the song that he played it twice in a row on his show. It's the only time he ever done this. So there you go. Teenage Kicks So Hard to Beat. And this is a book by one of the members of the Undertones, Michael Bradley. My Life as an Undertone. So what does Wikipedia tell us about them? The Divine Comedy are a pop band from Northern Ireland formed in 1989, fronted by Neil Hannon. Hannon has been the only constant member of the group, playing in some instances all of the non-orchestral instrumentation except drums. The band has released 13 studio albums between 1996 and 1999. 9 singles released by the band made the top 40 of the UK singles charts, including the 1999 top 10 hit National Express. A very different kind of band, and really Neil Hannon is the band, with a few peripheral guys attached on from time to time. And this, of course, is Fergal Sharkey, lead singer of the Undertones from the 70s and 80s. And he had an amazing voice. Went on to be a solo artist in the 80s and 90s. One of his main tracks, A Good Heart, #1 in UK, Australia, Belgium, Ireland, Netherlands. And the other one I like that he sang back then was You Little Thief. And he turned his attention away from music, and he's now a leading environmentalist. He's a lifelong fly fisherman, and he's campaigned against pollution of British rivers, particularly chalk streams. He has subsequently become a figurehead for the campaign to prevent water companies dumping untreated sewage into UK waterways and coast. This is Belfast rock legend Eric Bell, who played for many years with Thin Lizzy. And Eric Bell is credited with writing the introductory lines and all the rest of it off Whiskey in the Jar. And I have done a video of Eric giving this wee talk on the Woodstock Road about a year ago. It's called Belfast-born Eric Bell, founder member of the Lizzy, chats to Lisa Flavel, and he's such an interesting guy and very humble and very funny. Still going strong today. Another Thin Lizzy member. Here we have a very early photograph of Gary Moore. And this boy was good. And this is what I've really come in to see here. The legend that was Gary Moore. This is the suit that he wore for one of his concerts. Now here's somebody that most of you maybe will not know. This is rock legend, Port Stewart rock legend Henry McCullough. Backed up so many different artists and bands over his time. Backed up Joe Cocker, the Grease Band, Paul McCartney, played with Jimi Hendrix. I have it in my notes that he played lead guitar on Wings' James Bond theme, Live and Let Die. But he's perhaps best known for his solo on the band's #1 hit, My Love. Henry McCullough, born 1943, died 2016. I doubt whether this guy here, David McWilliams, will be known to many of you out there. David McWilliams in 1967 released The Days of Pearly Spencer, and it's an absolutely brilliant song. It is not to be confused with the later release of the 1982 version sung by Mark Almond. David McWilliams wrote the song, and it's a much better version in my opinion. And this is me down in the OUA Centre, Gordon Street, Belfast. And this is the write-up about David McWilliams. Died young. And this is the memorabilia that the OUA Centre have. Fans of heavy metal will recognise this singer-guitarist. This is Vivienne Campbell, born in Lisburn, age 63 now, and he played with Whitesnake and he still plays with Def Leppard. Those of us who are of a certain age will remember this beautiful looking girl here. This is Northern Ireland Warren Point singer Clodagh Rodgers. I did a video about Clodagh Rodgers back in April when she died. She was born in 1947 and died in 2025. And she was well known for her hit singles, Come Back and Shake Me, Good Night Midnight, Jack in the Box, and she had a few albums too. You're My Music, It's Different Now, and Save Me. Lovely girl, and a very popular entertainer from Northern Ireland. This is Neil Hannon, mainstay, her main component of the Divine Comedy. Edward Neil Anthony Hannon, born 1970, that makes him 55, Northern Irish singer-songwriter. He is the founder and frontman of chamber pop group The Divine Comedy, and the band's only constant member since its inception in 1989. Now, Hannon wrote the theme tunes for the television sitcoms Father Ted and The It Crowd, as well as the original songs for the musical film Wonka 2023. Born in Derry, son of Brian Hannon, a Church of Ireland minister in the Diocese of Derry and Raphoe, and later Bishop of Clodagh. And that something. Spent some of his youth in 5 Mile Town before moving with his family to Enniskillen in County Fermanagh in 1982, and was there attended Portora Royal School. Grew up during the Troubles. Enjoyed synthesizer-based music as a youngster, identified with the Human League and OMD, but he changed, and what we've got is type of rock, alternative rock, Britpop, art rock, baroque pop, art pop, chamber pop, jangle pop, orchestral pop, all pop film scores, and you can make of that what you will. This is a band hailing from Downpatrick in the south of Down, led by Tim Wheeler. This is Ash, and it's successful in round the turn of the millennium. And as I say, the band was led by, or is led, not too sure whether they're still operating or not, by Tim Wheeler, born 1977. And I don't really know an awful lot about them because I've never really listened to any of their stuff. He's lead vocalist and guitarist of alternative rock band. This is a Scottish Northern Irish band, Snow Patrol, who have done very, very well for themselves. Not too sure whether they are still operating or not. Have produced an awful lot of songs and albums. They probably one of the most best known ones is Chasing Cars. Chasing Cars was voted Song of the Decade on Channel 4's programme The Song of the Decade, which was broadcast in 2009. Phonographic Performance Limited announced Chasing Cars was the most played song of the decade. 10 years later, in 2019, it was reportedly still the most played song of the 20th century in the UK. There you go. A plaque was erected in the Duke of York pub, Belfast, where Snow Patrol performed their first gig. Those of you who are fans of the beautiful South might recognise this lady who was one of their singers for a number of years. This is Briana Corrigan. And there she is with the guys, Paul Heaton and co. Born in Belfast, but whenever she was 11 she moved from Belfast to Port Stewart, and she attended Dominican College in Port Stewart, overlooking the town and the beaches. Her mother taught there, and she was studying at Newcastle upon Tyne, but she happened to be in Hull, and she was offered. She just happened to be at the right place at the right time. She was offered to sing with Paul Heaton and Dave Hemingway. And soon after, she was asked to go to Milan with the band to help record their debut album, Welcome to the Beautiful South. She appeared alongside Dave Hemingway on the band's only UK singles chart #1 hit, A Little Time. So that's her singing on that particular well-known track or single. And she's pursued a solo career as well. So that's Briana Corrigan. This is Belfast singer-songwriter Brian Kennedy, aged 59. He sang the tribute song at George Best's funeral, and he's had mild pop chart success with songs like A Better Man, Love Life, Happiness, Put a Message in the Box, and songs like that. Brian Kennedy, born on the Falls Road. This is Peter Wilson, better known as Duke Special. Born in Lisburn, grew up in Coleraine and Downpatrick in Hollywood. Pianist, singer. How would you describe his music? Well, it's alternative rock, it's baroque pop, it's chamber pop, folk and soul. He's a musical friend of Divine Comedy. Best known single, Freewheeling. One of my favourite songs. If you're talking about singer-songwriters of note to come from Northern Ireland, you need to include Paul Brady. He's 78 now, and he was born in Belfast, 1947. Genres, it's hard to pin this man down. Folk, Irish, traditional, pop, rock, adult, contemporary. Plays the guitar, piano, mandolin, bazooka, tin whistle. And he's been in and out of different bands. He's done solo work and duos and all sorts of combinations. Initially popular for playing Irish traditional music with in a duo with Andy Irvine, later with Tommy Peoples and Matt Malloy, and solo. He later turned to a more rock-inspired, electric and poignant political lyrics. And some of his most popular songs are his interpretations of traditional the likes of Pontchartrain, Arthur McBride, Crazy Dreams, Nothing But the Same Old Story, The Island, Night Hunting, Steel Claw, performed by Tina Turner, Paradise Is Here, The World Is What You Make It, and Once in a Lifetime. Born in Belfast but raised in Strabane, County Tyrone. Paul Brady. This is David Holmes. born in 1969, a musician, composer. He has released quite a number of albums, but he is well known when it comes to turntables and samples and keyboards and programming for this kind of music. He has released quite a number of albums. They would be termed trip hop, big beat, rock and electronic music. He has composed a number of film scores, Out of Sight, for example, and the Oceans trilogy. Currently a member of the band Unloved, whose music has been used extensively in the television series Killing Eve. He's remixed a lot of songs for numerous artists and produced albums for Primal Scream and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Electronic, trip hop, kraut rock, house. Not my scene, really. This is Ream, and this is their #1 record chart. Things Can Only Get Better, 1993. Is it 28 years ago? Wow. The song is still being widely played. Ream are a Northern Irish pop and dance group. #1 with Things Can Only Get Better in 1994 or 93. 8 further top 40 hits followed, including You Are the Best Thing, Take Me Away, Shoot Me With Your Love, and their 2 1990 studio albums both reached the UK top 5. So they had, lead singer was a guy called Peter Cunha. And believe it or not, well, the other guy was Al Mackenzie. Believe it or not, the band's keyboard player was Brian Cox, the academic and science broadcaster of TV. This is the ever-popular, ever-changing Rend Collective Christian band that has scored well. Rend Collective, formerly known as Rend Collective Experiment, is a Northern Irish Christian folk rock worship band originating from Bangor, Northern Ireland, and they've got a core lineup, but they chop and change and all the rest of it. Established under the name Rend Collective between 2002 to 2003. Drummer Gareth Gulkson describes the Rend Collective as a bunch of us trying to figure out life. Before the formation, most of the members were part of Rend Young Adults Ministry at Bangor Elim Church, where Gillickson preached and Llewellyn led the worship. It's not interesting. While the group comprises 15 members, the band tours and records with 6 members. Remaining members are there to support and encourage the band spiritually, musically and missionally. And the band have released quite a number of singles and albums, and the ones that I know in Christian circles would be Build Your Kingdom and My Lighthouse. This is Nadine Coyle. Born in Derry, Londonderry, parents first noticed her talent for singing at the age of 2 when she sang the Drifters Saturday Night at the Movie. She was selected as a member of Girls Aloud, a pop girl group created through ITV's reality competition Pop Stars The Rivals. And the group achieved large success, achieving a string of 20 consecutive UK top 10 singles. And Nadine Coyle was part of that. 2022, Nadine sang a cover of the Cranberries' classic Zombie, and it was voted #1 Irish song of all time by RTE2 FM listeners, and her performance gained great reviews. 2023, Coyle attended the European premiere of Barbie and released a new single, a cover of Snow Patrol's classic Chasing Cars. Coyle's version is titled If I Lay Here, Chasing Cars in brackets. May and June 2024, Coyle and her Girls Aloud bandmates got back together for an arena tour titled The Girls Aloud Show in memory of their late bandmate Sarah Harding. This is obviously just some of the bands, singers and musicians that hail from Northern Ireland. If you've got a favourite that I haven't listed there, let me know and I'll add them to the notes.